folks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Natasha and I do book things here. Today's video is going to be a collective haul pretty much from the months of February, March, and half of April. So the sun is like very out today. I'm blinded, but you know, this side of my face is beautifully illuminated, so I hope you guys don't mind. It's the only time right now that I have to film before I work like a bajillion hours, so these are all of the books that I've collected from various places as well. Some from Book Outlet, some from Value Village, Thrift store, some from my favorite used bookstore, some I bought full price, some that I picked up for cheap. You may be wondering why I'm doing a haul, because I said to myself, and I set a goal at the beginning of the year, that I was only going to purchase 3 new releases each month and try to avoid buying books. The girl got a job, and so I've been treating myself a little bit more, but not too much. Alright, so the first one I picked up from my favorite used bookstore here in Ottawa. It's Black Squirrel Books. If you're ever in the Ottawa area, I highly suggest this bookstore. It's locally ran, locally owned. They have amazing coffee. They do really fun like trivia nights, and like bands are there. It's just a really nice little sort of like quiet section of the city. Right next door there's like a pinball, underground like pinball place that they do pinball and pierogies. Anyway, I'm just talking it up, but like I love that. And then across the way is one of the like oldest theaters in Ottawa as well, the Mayfair, and they do like Rocky Horror Picture Show nights. It's all in this like little section of Ottawa, and it's amazing, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it, and I love going there. I might be going there later today, so yeah, love that place. And support local businesses, because that's like very important to me. But this is a book that I picked up there. This is The Witches of New York by Amy McKay. I don't know, this is all about witches, and it's 200 years after the Salem witch trials. I've just heard good things about this. I like reading books about witches. I like the whole like fall witch aesthetic. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't filmed a haul in a while, so I'm not used to the fact that I don't know anything about these books yet. But anyway, so I picked up this one. Very interested in reading that. Next is a full price book from Chapters, but Jeff's sister did give me a gift card for my birthday and was basically like, here, go buy a book. So I'm like, okay, cool. I bought a book that is very pricey Canadian, and I've just been putting it off, but it was one of my most anticipated books to read the second it came out. I just haven't got around to it yet. That is From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doty. This is how to find the good death, and she talks about different practices and different cultures on how they prepare their dead, on how they bury their dead or not, or whatever they do with their dead, and I find it super interesting. She does a series on YouTube called Ask a Mortician. Also, she did The Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and like other stories from the crematory. So this is like a non-fiction book. It's actually set in like a biography section of a bookstore if you're looking for it, at least in mine. But it's a very short book, hardcover, full price adult book, and so that's why I've been putting it off. This is $33.95 Canadian, which is insane because I can almost get 2 YA books for that price, and probably bigger books. But I finally picked it up because I had a gift card, and so I thought if I don't get it now, I'm just not going to be purchasing it for myself, because it's like a thing when I don't want to purchase expensive things for myself. But I did purchase it, I loved it, and read it, so stay tuned for my thoughts about this in a wrap-up, because it was really good. Next was one that I ordered in February. It took forever for Chapters to get this book. It was like back ordered and then not released in the release date, so I ended up getting it closer to March, but it was a February new release, and that is The Disturbed Girls Dictionary. But yeah, so this book I picked up, read. Very interesting format. Again, I want to talk about this in my wrap-up. I'm not going to talk about it too much here, but it's told in dictionary format, also diary format. A girl who's going through like so much stuff. This book was very dark, and way darker than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, if you're at all interested in picking it up, just know that going into it that it's dark and kind of depressing, and it never really gets happier. So just be prepared for that. Again, you'll find out my opinions on that at the end of the month. Then I have a few books from Book Outlet, of course, with the drunk live shows and people suggesting books and all that. Naturally, I get sort of sucked into purchasing things on Book Outlet. So these were 3 that I grabbed recently, not enough to get free shipping, but I didn't really care. Also, I had like a Christmas gift card from Book Outlet, and I had some like points from Book Outlet, so anyway, I had a bunch of savings, so that's why I justified this. This one is one that Chelsea has been suggesting to me. I really honestly just bought this and I don't know anything about it. I still really don't. This is The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You by Lily Anderson. All I know is Chelsea loves this, so I got it. In the same realm is another one that Julie suggested, and she said that this is going to be her hating game, so I picked it up and like I had to read it. Also, it's gorgeous. That is This Adventure Ends by Emma Mills. This cover is like textured. It feels, you know, indented where the letters are. Then when you take the cover off, it's this gorgeous, I don't know how well you can see that, oh there we go, in the light. Also all textured, lovely. It focuses a lot on friendship. I still don't know what this is. Don't know what this is about. I'm just gonna read it right now. There's romance and family, and it seems lovely, and Julie loves it. So again, when my friends suggest books that they love in 5-star books, I go, okay. The last one I picked up from Book Outlet is one that I read and freaking loved, and oh my god, this might be my favorite book so far this year. Maybe, I don't know. I've read a lot of good 5-star stuff, but this one, ooh, this one was just in like a league of its own, for different reasons. I always rate 5-star books for different reasons, so it's hard for me to pick like a favorite, but this was probably the best adult book that I've read this year that's not like a horror or something. Anyway, that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Everyone seems to be talking about this lately, but Chelsea especially was like, oh my god, you have to read this book, and I got it. It's gorgeous, and it was really cheap on Book Outlet. Again, this is the $35 book Canadian, so when I can find expensive adult hardcovers on Book Outlet for cheap, I get them, because your girl doesn't have $35 to be spending on one book. So yeah, anyway, I read this. Oh, loved it. Gave it 5 stars. You guys will see this more in my wrap-up as well, where I talk a little bit more about it, but it is just so good. I loved it. Anyway, 5 stars. There's my like mini review, but that's another one that I grabbed from Book Outlet. So worth it. If you get anything recently, get that. It's phenomenal. So another one that I picked up from Chapters was kind of an accident and kind of just like talked into it. I ended up meeting a author that was in the front of my Chapters. I hear from the side, he's like, I have a book that you're gonna like. And I look over and it's maybe the most beautiful man I've ever seen in person. Just gonna go ahead and say that. Like, you like Instagram model come to life, like literally he's an Instagram model. I'll include a picture here, or maybe it's just because you guys need to see this. And so I'm like, you got a book for me? Is it yours? He's like, yes. I'm like, I will buy it. Give me it, please. Thank you. As I'm just staring into his beautiful face. He's gorgeous. Look at him. Anywho, I bought his book. I have yet to read it, but it is definitely on the list. It is called Someplace Better Than Here. I love the orange and the blue. It has like maps and stuff in it. But this is sort of like summery, road trippy, kind of like, I don't know, my kind of aesthetic is what he kind of described it as. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but we'll see. I like road trip books and like darker road trip books, and that's kind of what he described it as, so I picked it up. It was 20 bucks. He signed it for me, so that was kind of nice. And again, I like supporting like local-ish authors. I think he's from like the greater Niagara area, so close to me and Canadian, so I went, okay, sure, I'll buy your book because you're really, really pretty, so. So I have a couple more books from Black Squirrel Books. Again, used books for cheap, and we had went for a friend's trivia night. We almost won. I want to say that we very nearly almost won, and to this day I'm still mad that I didn't get a couple questions right. So anyway, I just feel like I'm too angry and too much of a sore loser to go to trivia. Moving on. So I picked up a couple books that night just because I don't know, I was in like the mood for books. So for 7 bucks I picked up A Study in Charlotte. This is, I believe, supposed to be like a mystery kind of YA book. I know there's 3 in this series, and I don't know, it seems like really cutesy. Basically, I think she's supposed to be like Sherlock Holmes' granddaughter or something. I also picked up My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Bachman. I've been meaning to pick up Frederick Bachman, sorry, I'm used to Bachman, anyway. It's Frederick Bachman, and I've been meaning to pick up a couple of his books. There's like A Man Called Ove, and there's a couple other ones that I keep seeing. Beartown, I think, is one. Anyway, I've always been so intrigued by the covers, I've just never picked them up, and so I saw this and went, okay, it's a perfect opportunity to check out his work and see what his writing's like. This one is all about like an eccentric grandmother, which is, again, totally up my alley. I like road trip books, I like eccentric grandmother books, old people on adventures. You guys know, those are the kind of things I like, especially moving into sort of the summer. I like those kind of books. I don't know, grandmother stories is what this is supposed to be about, and it just seems charming as fuck. And then one that just sort of fell into my lap. I don't know why I got this, but I was like, I think I need a sci-fi book. Who is she? Picked this up and then I realized it does not have good ratings on Goodreads, but I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna find out, or I might never read it. I might go into the shelf and just die there. I don't know. This is You, and this is by Austin Grossman. I don't know. It seems really interesting and I really, really like the cover. And it's a cover by, who am I kidding? But it's about like video gaming and like hacking and next gen game with software glitches and stuff like that. I have a feeling that Jeff would really like this, and so I feel like if I buy this and read it, it's sort of like he doesn't have to read it. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't know. I just bought it and I don't know. I don't want to read Ready Player One, but I feel like this is like something that's maybe might be similar. I don't know. Buy a lot of things. I don't know why. Then I was feeling sad one day and decided to go to Chapters and buy a full price book because, again, I'm me, hi. I went in and I got a book that I've been meaning to buy for a really long time and just finally like got it. A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is the second book that follows The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which I fucking loved. I loved that book, and I've suggested that book probably more than most books to people, just because I have a lot of like guy friends that like I don't know, not that I don't suggest books to them, but like I'm so sick of suggesting just Stephen King, so I've been suggesting A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet a lot. So this is the second one. It sort of picks up following the characters and the AI, and excited to read this because the third one is coming out soonish, I think. And then this book was in like the $6 section of Chapters, and I think I heard somebody on BookTube, oh wow, somebody, I cannot think of their name. Ooh, anyway, I heard somebody talk about this at some point, so if it was you or you know who it is, please let me know in the comments. That is Tell Me 3 Things. All I remember is that there's waffles on this book, and I saw it and went, somebody had that and said something good about it. Does anyone else do that? I've heard good things about it, so I think. Whatever. And then lastly, the last stack of books that I have here are all ones that I picked up from Value Village, and I do have a ranty story time coming up soon about some of these books because I dealt with an asshat and I want to talk about it. There goes the sun. There goes the sun, I'm in the dark. Please come back. Anyway, the first one that I found and was so excited to find, because this is a book that was been on my Christmas list, but no one got me books for Christmas, so this is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. It looks basically like an IKEA catalog, but it's a like horror book set in their version of IKEA. It's supposed to be really interesting, and I don't know, it's like a haunted IKEA essentially. And so there's like instructions for like torture machines and stuff. And then I had a little bit of time to kill before work, so again went to Value Village, took a look around, and I found this. And again, I keep buying like just cover buys, but I could have swore I heard about this in somebody's fucking video somewhere. It is The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North, and this is like a Groundhog Day sort of thing, which fun, I love that kind of stuff, where the guy keeps like living the same life over and over, and I think he has to like break that cycle or something changes and he's trying to figure out why. This sounds really interesting. I don't know, I'm kind of in the mood for like a deeper thinking not time travel-y book, but like, I don't know, whatever this is. Then I grabbed these 5 together the last time I was in Value Village, and I'm not going to really get into it, but I didn't pay very much for these books because I had an argument with their manager about whether or not he should be selling ARCs. Is it weird to sell ARCs after they're already released? I don't know. To me, it just says not for sale on the back. It has like publishing info. Some of these have been addressed to certain people. It's very obvious that somebody in my area gets ARCs and is donating them, which is a whole other issue as well. Do I think that people should do that? I don't know. But I ended up grabbing all 3 ARCs. I went to this little man. We bitched at each other for a little while, and he's like, you know, basically, I'll give you, like, just give me $2 for them. And I'm like, that's not the point, sir. The point is it says not for sale. Why are you making money off of these? Anyway, so I ended up getting 3 ARCs of books. Obviously, this one comes out in like 2015. I really don't know what these are about. It's just the fact that they're ARCs, and I felt like I needed to just have them. Basically, this is called The Rocks by Peter Nichols, and this book is... Then I have an ARC here of Everything Beautiful Is Not Ruined. This came out February 21st, 2017, my birthday. I know a lot of people have liked this book, so I find that really interesting that this is an ARC. Whatever, I grabbed it, and I'm gonna read it, so... Then I grabbed this other ARC, which is The Book of Polly. This is beautiful, and I just bought it because I really like the book and like the cover and the font. But this is about a girl and her mom, and they're like southern, very southern, like, I don't know. Alright, camera battery died, sun's still a fucking mess. Just gonna roll with it. Cool, cool. Then I picked up another book, again, cover by, spine by, whatever. I saw this and was like, it's got yellow and blue, I'm gonna buy you. This was not 12 something, I got this for like $2. This is a book called This Is Your Life, Harriet Chance by Jonathan Evison. That's what it looks like there. This follows an older woman whose husband dies, but he leaves her an Alaskan adventure or something like that. And she tries to figure out like what that means and what it means for her to grieve her husband and move on and blah 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 blah. And then the last one that I have here is one that I know, I think Lala from Books and Lala really likes, and this is a sort of like thriller. I think this is a thriller, but it looks like a contemporary, like, I don't know, dark book, but I think it's a thriller. It was $20 at some point, but this is I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, which I know is one of Lala's like favorite authors, and she really likes this book, and so I saw it and I grabbed it. I forget kind of what this is about, but I think it's about a woman whose son dies, and she tries to figure out why, something like that. But apparently there is a twist in this that is like one of the best twists ever, so I want to know nothing about this. Do not tell me what this is about twist wise. I want to like go into it blind. But yeah, I picked that up as well, and that is all of the books that I picked up in the months of February, March, and a little bit of April. So however many that is, I don't know, 18 things. I've read some of them already, so I mean that's good. That's not including other new releases I bought, but you know, whatever. I don't care. Hopefully you guys are all doing good, and until my next video, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye!